And this brings us to our segment for today. We are here dealing with our home court. We are talking about the homelessness and the actual epidemic of homelessness here and our programs and what we have used over the years to survive and strive and thrive in this city and metropolitan area. All right, it's been a city of row homes, and they say Baltimore and Philly is very similar in that regard, and we are the home of the row homes. Yet it has caused over 10,000 abandoned properties. Some years, I'm sure even more, much more, but over 10,000 abandoned properties that go on in Philadelphia year after year. If you were to know about the Philadelphia Land Bank, I mean, honors to Dr. Poetica Bey for attending and getting some of the juice on the background, but they had a Philadelphia Land Bank meetings once a month, the Philadelphia Horticultural Society downtown, 20th Street. And over the years, we found out it's mainly gentrifiers, it's mainly foreign occupiers, and we're not talking about people just from a different nationality, they from West Philly or South Philly like you. No, these are people from Utah, people from Sweden, people from Amsterdam, that do not relate to anything American at all. The same people that eventually run the Christmas Village at City Hall every year for the last 10 years, if you notice. That same clique. That's the international people that really are going citywide. So we're talking about a little bit of the history of it and the epidemic of housing crisis and what we have done here at our Philadelphia Interfaith Court with starting a new initiative for home to fight the homelessness and to deal with conserving these properties and even bringing back the dollar program and whatnot in Philadelphia. So we have our coalition, our Interfaith Housing Collaborative. It's just all of us faith-based leaders. We're an unincorporated association. We're just a group of sheiks and imams and muftis and bishops and believers that are together that say, look, these are a lot of abandoned properties. What can we do as a missionary outreach collaborative? So we started and wrote up what we call the home court. We like that here in Philly because we wanted to have home court advantage. So we help you with housing. It's like we give you a home court advantage. It's commissioned also by our dear illustrious judge Jackie Frazier, like the daughter of the legendary Joe Frazier. Amen. And she had also commissioned us to do this work, and she is very passionate about homelessness. And if you go to the municipal court and you go inside her courtroom every day, she got housing resources and apartment listings and stuff like this on the inside the court. I've never seen something like this. And I said, wow. So I asked the judge, I said, listen, Judge Frazier Live, Judge Jackie, let me and my team push this thing forward because she's on the bench all the time. Right. You know what I mean? So let us, boots on the ground, do further than what she can do on the bench, give out a referral. Sometimes she can mandate court order. You better go to this meeting for housing. Because you really messing up, and I ain't going to send you to jail this time to go to this meeting for housing. Because you really, so we can do more by being boots on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Right. And we have our faith-based family court that we operate. So what they can't do at the municipal court, we as our ecclesiastical court, we will team up and we will, inshallah, be able to do those things. So that's where we came to talk about today with some of our key people. We got our Dr. Poetica Bey that may jump on in a while. We got our Sharif Bynum-Bey, Brother Muhsin here.
Peace, peace.
Who has been serving as the Sharif for our interfaith court, and who will be overseeing the Boondock Saints First Responders Unit for those of you who want to join,
right.
Because there's a lot of
get with us.
There's a lot of activity as the threats of power outages and plane crashes and all kinds of police domestic terrorism is still on the loose, right? So there are folks that are not qualified to join the court directly or work directly with us,
right,
in official capacity. However, just like a good, well-regulated militia or National Guard, right? They can join the Boondock Saints First Responders,
right,
and the Sharif and Sifu Christopher Jackson Bey. They'll train them up and give them the actual protocols and stuff, resources and strategies, because it's still got some of that cop watch element in it. Shout out to the cop watch crew from Brooklyn, from the Bronx, Brooklyn, and nationwide. So it would have some of that elements of the first responders as far as EMT, other aspects. But I wanted, the Sharif Bynum-Bey to talk a little bit about your knowledge and your experience with your memory even of the dollar houses back in the day and how that went.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me go now.
Yeah.
Well, it started with my mother, Miss Muhsin, that's my mom's name. Back in the day, we moved from South Philly to Southwest Philly. But at first, my mom went and did the groundwork, and she was fishing around for us a house. She was part of a program back then. It was called Acorn. And it was like right before HUD and all that. It was like the first thing. And my mom was one of the originals of that organization. And when she picked her house, which was the house we had moved to in Southwest in like 81, 82, on Regent Street in Southwest Philly. So, she must have had picked that particular house out of the Acorn program. So the due diligence was to go ahead and, because a lot of people was afraid to even approach the houses. Like you had to deal with the police, and then you had to deal with your own hating people that, y'all can't come on this block. It was like, and some people shoo you away from the houses, even though it's not.
They still do that,
and that's black on black.
So now you're talking about in the '80s now, 30-something, 40 years ago.
Yeah, your own people, man, and so. That ain't stopped my mom, of course. We ended up picking an address, and then somehow, I don't know how this happened, but somehow Channel 3 got involved with it over a period of time. When my mom started like gaining some progress and stuff. We picked the house, we pulled the tent off. But by the time we pulled the tent off the house, we had Channel 3 and the camera was with us. And to me, that was kind of like hard and odd, because I was at that age where I cared about what everybody else thought and think, how I looked to everybody, my classmates, and things like that. So I didn't know that was going to air all on TV in Philadelphia back then, and then my classmates and everybody would know about it. All right, I jumped it a little bit, but so Mom, she ended up going through the due diligence, and we was fixing the house up. The house started turning out real nice. Channel 3 was reporting it and documenting the whole thing step by step. So one day my mom came home sad, and we didn't know what was wrong, but City Hall downtown started squeezing on my mom, after they saw how nice the house looked. It was all painted up, like we made it look like a new house. And, we was all, still young, considerably. I was, maybe 12 or 13 at the time. So, but anyway, long story short, City Hall got involved, and they was threatening to take the house from my mom with her 9 children. But at that time, I think it was only like 6 of us living there. My other 3 was my oldest ones, they were out the house by this time. And So it became a big thing. So they gave my mom, like, I think it was 2 weeks or 21 days.
Some type of
Counting down, yeah,
countdown.
to have, I think it was $2,000 in taxes or something like that. Something that I know my mom couldn't afford. We couldn't afford it, you know what I'm saying? So, and then she was struggling with all of us by herself. You know, did a hell of a job too. Like, you know, everybody who came and saw how me and my brothers and I turned out to be gentlemen, and also be references in the hood, like proverbs, like the way that our lives went. You know, we had to make our respect and everything when we moved from Southwood to Southwest. Everybody called us squatters, and you know, I had some cool homies on the block, and then even the bullies and them, I got to know them too. You know, I had to fight the bully and all that. But as we all got older, we all became real tight, good friends. You know what I mean? And
right. Y'all had to stand your ground early.
Yeah, we had to, you know. But right now, you know, me and my brothers, our names is good with the neighborhood, with the community, you know, with the family and friends and things like that. You know, matter of fact, our names are even reference points in some situations, right, where lives may have gotten saved. You understand? So, but back to the story. So counting down to the last days of the countdown, the last week, where we was about to be put back on the street because, you know, they wanted their money for the house or whatever. And my mom was in there, she was talking and crying and stuff like that. Actually, that part of that is on the documentary.
Oh yeah, so without further ado, I have found it. I'm sure you've seen it. I have found this clip, and it is on, let's see who this is by.
Well, let me just finish the last part.
Go ahead.
And at the last minute, the man's name was Mr. Loeb. I want y'all to remember this Caucasian man's name. He was an angel, okay? So, and he understood what my mom was doing. Here's a man who had his own piping company, and he said one day he was watching the news, sitting down at his table in his kitchen, and he seen a woman fighting for her rights to have a house for her children. And then he said he looked out his window and saw how he ain't had no neighbors. He got all these acres, nice big space for himself. And kind of like that inspired him to come down to the court and pay for what the courts were squeezing on my mom for. He paid it in full. Right. And got the windows, got the house weatherized and everything after that for my mom. Wow. You know what I mean? So, wow. Yeah, Mr. Lowe, he's a good man.
Wow.
Good man.
Amen.
God's soldiers come in many forms.
That's right. And it ain't about color. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people think I be hard-bodied. I'm pro-black, but it's not about color. I'm not colorblind. You know what I'm saying? To the point where I don't acknowledge goodness coming from any race.
Any individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know how my God works. My God will touch any individual.
His choice.
You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, Mr. Loeb did that, and then it was like a happy ending. But I would like to do like a follow-up so everybody could see how Miss Muhsin's children turned out in this time in the future work.
Oh yeah. Because everybody that's in this film, in this picture, you want to kind of like catch up to them.
Yeah, they all still around and doing well. Like, show you God's promise is true when you let make your life and your services to the Creator. The Creator gonna look out for you. He ain't look out for your siblings.
Ain't that something,
She became a hero to the entire neighborhood.
That's my mom.
2 years later, we went back to see if everything was still okay. Muhsin, you're still here.
Yes. The house is coming alongside.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, that's amazing. We're going right to that. We're still tuned in to the link. We're listening.
Was living in a 2-bedroom apartment with her 9 children, her brother, and his 2 children, and it was really crowded. But Muhsin told us that all around there were vacant buildings.
We can drive around Philadelphia and you will see block after block, street after street, abandoned houses, Some of them have half a block that has been abandoned. And it's ridiculous.
Muhsin decided to become a squatter. She joined an organization called Acorn that helps people to illegally move into abandoned buildings. The building Muhsin occupied was in terrible condition, and they knew they'd have to work day and night
What you do? Can't so hard.
to fix it up.
Got the work cut out. Walking away.
2 months later, Muhsin's house looked like a palace. That's when the city decided to evict her as an illegal occupant and sell the building. Muhsin fought back.
We set a goal and we reached it because we said everything we had in that house, even down to sometimes not wanting to get up and do it, but we knew we had to get up and do it because we said we could go by someone. I'm trying to instill responsibility in them because they're my responsibility.
She didn't play.
Get something before she leaves here from downtown today. I can tell her get on the phone. I can get on the phone today.
When the city officials let Muhsin stay in her house, she became a hero to the entire neighborhood. 2 years later, we went back to see if everything was still okay.
Marvin, you're still here? Yeah, and the house is coming alongside. Oh yeah, what you do? Can't so far. Can I see inside? Sure. You remember when you was here last time, the walls were green?
Right.
Well, since the new wallpaper, but I think next go round, I'm gonna try Bush House, so there's a wax.
And your kitchen?
Needs work. My grandson.
Oh, you have a grandson, Muhsin. I don't believe it.
My one grandson.
Oh, you're cute. What's his name?
Abdul.
Abdul.
Uh-huh.
Wow. That's cute.
But they in Hospital, Florida now.
Your daughter moved to Hokichokee?
Uh-huh.
Yeah?
Yep.
Boy, you look pretty proud.
I am. This is it.
So you got a grandson? You still in your house?
Yep.
Uh-huh. And you got plenty of food on the table?
Okay.
Uh-huh. Anything missing?
Nothing at all.
Nothing you'd like to have?
Now,
Right. Pretty good.
I'm happy. You know, the nice thing of it all, John, is this piece of paper says that I am locked, stock, and barrel for $14.
Muhsin was living.
Wow, so you heard it here first. That was, yeah, man, I wish everybody could see that clip. I mean, Miss Muhsin, may Allah be pleased with her. And with that afro, I mean, yo,
Egyptian, yo.
standing on business and just being
Living in a two-bedroom apartment with
I
her
mean, you
9
could
children.
tell she was fresh out of Claire Muhammad School.
Oh yeah.
You could tell she was well duly trained, well prepared, duly trained, to come out and stand firm on some all that pressure. I mean, it's all that pressure right now.
That's right.
Ain't no difference in pressure. They got gentrifiers. It's the same thing. It's the same people that worked for 20 years and didn't speak to their neighbors. And 2 buildings to the left is dilapidated. 2 buildings to the right is dilapidated. And they live in their own bubble. And then they've been there letting it go down for 20 years. Somebody needs that place, come get it. And all of a sudden they up in arms.
This is what I want to say, and that's very important that you struck a thought in my mind, and I probably wouldn't have got it if you didn't do it. But this is what is important. We need to, as people, we need to get together and organize ourselves. We need to stop putting that off and chasing other things. 'Cause those things are failing us. And you see it when you see new people come here, as they should be able to. And they get set up, they're able to get dug in and use the resources that's here and get it done. And then once they get it done, it's like you looking at our people who've been here for 20, 30, 40, and 50 years who failed to organize themselves and come together, who had the opportunity to do it first. You know, and I'm seeing that's where we're making our mistake, man. You know, as a people, we failing to come together, like, and then we complain later on when you see our Mexican brothers coming in or gentrified. Yeah, it's just, diversified. Yeah,
Yeah, all kind of nationalities actually.
And they come in and they're looking for a better situation for themselves. And they come in our neighborhood and it's like Gargamel finding the Smurf village, you know what I'm saying? And they take advantage of it. You know what I mean? So what? It's an easy solution for that. If I need people who really want to do this to get with me, let's come together. We have our own conservatorship panel. We still need more,
Participants.
Yeah, and ingenious minds that can add on to what we're doing.
There you go.
Resources or information or know-how. But we need to, get together. Let's stop just sticking at home and come on out. If we say that we having events and we need y'all to come out so that we can sit down and have, meetings and stuff to find out what our needs are.
Yeah, and also just to have these work days, because all of us over the years have identified some of these abandos, and we need to, coordinate them because Dr. Poetica Bey, my wife and I, we were instrumental with Occupy Housing, or Occupy PHA. And all those encampments, right, that were downtown on the Parkway, 20th and Master on Ridge Avenue and all that. We wind up coming back from Miami and did actually basically being leaders of them. They already had it going on. We came back. They realized we were suing in federal court those same entities.
Yeah.
And so we jumped in and lent our support.
Mm-hmm.
And we was like, yo, we so happy. But it still was a super diverse audience. It wasn't the good old fashioned native sons like us.
Mm-hmm.
It was a little bit of college students.
Right.
It was too diverse as far as you need that same energy.
Yes.
But amongst ourselves.
One more thing, and I'm gonna make it short. Like you see our Mexican brothers in them when they come in here. I'm gonna be mad at them. I'll be impressed because I'm like, they just came on the block in a week, and before the month is out, they got the house up and running. They live in it.
Yeah.
And we can be doing the same thing. Here's the thing: they work together. This is what we have to understand. We have to work together because I might get a house. I can't sit and still babysit the house. I got to go and take care of other businesses. So I need somebody to hold spot and stay at the house if possible, live there and hold the spot until we get all of the necessary paperwork and everything we need to.
That's exactly what we need. If y'all gotta listen, y'all gotta hit us up.
Yeah.
And if you want to call in now and make your voice heard, hit us up 215-763-9596. That's 215-763-9596. I'm sitting here with Master Don, Master U, Sharif Bynum-Bey for the 24 elders. I'd like to give high honors to all the other 24 elders, active members and saints here at the 6th Church. Shouts out to Hard Smoke, Born Master, Shaman Aziz, Seldom Seen.
Indeed.
And everybody.
And so real quick, like what we need, reach out. I can be reached out. I'm going to leave my information at the end. But y'all need to reach out, man, so we can sit down and work out how we going to go about approaching this. There's plenty of housing out there, and it doesn't make any sense for anybody to have to be homeless like that when you have opportunity. And even opportunities are a little bit better now than it was in my mom's time to get
Say your mom's full name too.
Miss Muhsin Ukda.
Yes, much love to her.
Yes. She the one that made it possible for all of us. And so now, me, I'm stepping up to the plate with it, and we've been already in motion in our own personal ways, but now we making it. It's not personal. This is for the family, and whoever are the willing and able bodies to come together to organize and so we can approach this right. Just get with us, man.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna keep talking about this. We're taking a break. This is Black Sackcloth by the Dirty Moors, featuring Master
that down black black horse. Here in the back of the hemisphere, in deep parts of the north. All in the city slums to the main source, the middle court. Clear his spinal cord with no force or remorse. Use celestial intellect to predict this rugged course. Evaporate on the living with those inferior residuals, right on track.